Hello Penguinauts, I'm the Video Penguin and welcome back to Fall of Kerbin. Now you're probably expecting a Heart of Iron 4 video today, but I had a really long day so I'm really tired and grumpy and I couldn't really face a 5-hour recording session because, well, once you start playing Heart of Iron 4 you can't really put it down. But anyway, I decided I would do a short little video addressing some questions that you all ask rather often, all to do with the mods that we used in Fall of Kerbin, and there are a lot of them. I remember when we first started the series, I said to tape, okay, let's only get the mods that we absolutely need, okay? We're not going to have a collaborative warfare situation where we've got tons of mods that are pretty cool, but we never actually end up using them and it slows the game down. Nope, only the mods we definitely need. And then we ended up having about 5 times the amount of mods that we used in collaborative warfare. So we're going to go from the top. I'm going to walk you through all of them. Just so you know, the mod list is in the description of every single Fall of Kerbin video. Not tapes, I think he forgets now and then, but at least all of mine, so stop asking for mod lists in the comments, because just read the description. Same with the KSP version, we're in 1.1.2. So, I've created a mod pack, just so you know, a lot of you have been asking for it. I've created a mod pack, which you can download, description below, all the mods we use, some of them pretty tweaked. That will be updated relatively regularly, just keep that in mind, because we tweak things all the time, so that will be changing every now and then, the balance of certain parts. I know I'm going to be tweaking the 50 cal turret, and those armor-piercing bombs very soon, but I digress. Anyway, that's in the description below, so you can download that, but keep in mind it's for KSP 1.1.2. A lot of you have been telling us to update to 1.2 so we can use Kerbal Foundries, get treads. We know it's been updated, but a lot of our mods haven't been updated for 1.2. And we have something which is kind of rare in a modded KSP install, which is our install is stable. It's not 100% stable, it does start lagging a lot, and there are some problems, it does crash now and then, but it is relatively stable considering how many mods we have. And so we don't want to screw with it, okay? We don't want to update and change our mods. We just want to leave it how it is because it's stable, it works, the videos are entertaining, it's fun to make. Unlike Collaborative Warfare when we updated to 1.0.5, which just became a nightmare to run and crashed every 30 seconds. So we're just going to stay at 1.1.2 despite 1.3 coming out sometime soon. Anyway, I've been waffling on. Let's actually start talking about the mods. I'm going to go for each mod one by one and just sort of explain what they do, because some of you, well, sort of wonder what half the mods do and wonder, you know, which mod is something from, whatever. So, at the top of the list, Speedy Armory. Quite obviously, it adds all the weapons, adds these weapon managers, and allows every other weapon mod we have in order to work. So, just look at the sheer amount of weapons we have. But yeah, adds a bunch of stock weapons, and then we've got weapon packs, which have increased the amount of weapons that we have. So the first weapon pack we have is Naval Artillery Systems, and that adds all the wonderful ship guns that you find us using on our battleships, destroyers, cruisers, all of that kit and caboodle. Also adds torpedoes, adds a ton of anti-aircraft guns. I think it is the single biggest part pack we have, actually. Just look at the sheer amount of weaponry we have. Yeah, props to the people who make it. Acer is the head developer on that. And yeah, it's an amazing mod. Adds depth charges, adds just a ridiculous amount of stuff. It's actually freaking awesome how much work they put into it and just how much stuff we have. The second part pack that we have is Aviator Arsenal. That adds all of the aircraft weaponry that you see us using. So all of these lovely cannons and machine guns. Also adds all of these bombs. As you see, doesn't add the ship bombs, the anti-ship 1,600-pound bombs. That's added by NAS, actually, Naval Artillery Systems, along with some pretty special weapons we'll be using in later turns if I can actually find them. Let me sort. I sorted all these out, as you see, into Air Force and stuff, because it starts to get very, very confusing. Did I put it in here? Oh yes, so we got awesome things like the Fritz X guided anti-ship glide bomb, which we'll be using after turn 20. We've also got the Torboy 12,000-pound earthquake bomb and a bunch of cool stuff. Onto the next mod pack, which is Firespitter, which is the plugin that enables all of our prop engines that you see us using, such as this wonderful Japanese engine here. So that's the plugin, adds a bunch of engines itself, and then we've also got 2 expansion packs for that. So that's Kerbal Aircraft Expansion, which is some of these engines. Here we go. So such as the D25 and a bunch of engines. Also adds a bunch of helicopter rotors, which we obviously don't use. But then probably the most important expansion we use is Airplane Plus, which adds a bunch more engines. So adds the BF-109 engine. What's this? This is the Chaika engine, I believe. I use it for my I-16. We've got a... yeah, this is our Japanese engine. There we go. This is the P-38 engine, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, okay, yeah. One's for the Warhawk, one's for the P-38. Okay, cool. I've also got a Yak Engine, so it adds a bunch of stuff. It also adds the wonderful cockpit that you see here, so it adds the A6M Zero cockpit. It also adds the P-40 cockpit. I believe that's the P-40 cockpit. Yeah, it looks like the P-40 cockpit to me. Yeah, so Airplane Plus. Pretty freaking awesome. On to the next mod, which are Procedural Wings, which is how we make these. Let me just get rid of these. There we go. It's how we make these wonderful wing designs that you see. So basically, you can just change them how you want, move them all over the place. I'm ruining my fighter aircraft that I spent hours and hours and hours designing. But yeah, yeah. So that allows us to make all of our lovely wing shapes that you see. I'm going to reload that because, oh my god, it's horrible to look at, isn't it? There we go. Reload the A6 turn. Anyway, on to the next mod that we use. So that's pretty much all the aircraft mods. The next mod is... which is the next mod? I've got a whole list here and I've lost my place. Here we go, World War II Warships. So that's what we use to create our beautiful warships. Well, quite obviously. I'm not going to load them because they take quite a while to load because they use a lot of parts. But, you know, as you see, the Adeli class light cruiser, Chinchap, all of our ships use World War II warships. And the cool thing about that is, as well as adding structural plating, deck plating, and armor plating, it allows our ships to sink. So everything's made off of keels, if I can find the keel. Here we go. So everything's built off of a keel, and then you've got indestructible parts which pump in water, and then you've got armor plating which pumps it out. So when you lose armor plating, you sink. It's quite simple, but pretty awesome. We've quite heavily edited it. I edited the way the armor works so that our ships actually take damage in a more realistic manner. I also changed the color of all the parts because for some reason they were white and we didn't have curb paint. So yeah, curb paint, although it has actually been updated for 1.1.2, it doesn't work very well with NAS. It made all our NAS parts look weird, and yeah, so we didn't use it. Even though it would have been cool to be able to paint our aircraft, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of more important that our ships don't look really weird. Anyway, on to the next ship mod, which is SM Marine. I'm just going to search for those parts because they're not in any particular tab. So this adds a bunch of cosmetic stuff for our ship. So it adds all of our bridges, adds all of our hatches, adds a bunch of radar, gives us a look, just basically entirely cosmetic stuff to make our ships look awesome. So we've got all these comms masts, anchors, bunch of stuff, and that's just so our ships don't look terrible. Because if you see Tape's original naval preparation video for the World War I era, his ships didn't look very good, and my ships looked even worse because we were sort of building box bridges, and it was just horrible. So that's why we've got these lovely bridges from SM Marine. The next ship pack is Maritime Pack. If I actually no, wait, what's the tag for it? I've completely forgotten. Oh well, we're gonna just have a look at some of the parts. So the Maritime Pack's yet another aesthetic ship mod. So it adds these parts. See if I can find the aircraft carrier part. Here we go. So it adds a bunch of these parts, is what we use to create our supply ships. We've also got this cool bow, which I'll probably use in some kind of naval landing at some point. I'll put some tanks on my supply ships and then roll them onto the beaches. You know, it'd be pretty awesome. We'll do that at some point, or just create some landing craft with these. We also get these aircraft carrier parts, and this is what we use for a bunch of other aesthetic naval stuff. Because even though World War II warships is great, the parts don't look that great. So we build our ships with World War II warships, we decorate them with SM Marine and the Maritime Pack. On to the next mod. It's actually another weapon mod, which is Never Enough Dakka. Now, I haven't got most of it installed because most of the parts it adds are sort of Korean War to sort of modern tank turrets. However, it does add the KV-2 152mm derp gun, which we have extensively remodeled. We've rebalanced it a bunch, so it's completely different to how it was in them. Pretty much all the tank weapons have been completely rebalanced by Tetrids and myself to make them a little more realistic, a little more fair, a little more balanced. But anyway, old school turrets is the next mod. So yeah, Never Enough Dakka adds a lot of modern stuff, but also adds this KV-2 turret. So we're just using that for now, but when we get into later eras, we'll start using more of it. Old school turrets is the mod that we're using to get the rest of our tank turrets. A lot of you have been complaining about how we don't use like Sherman guns, how we don't use specific guns. You're like, oh, why are you using the KV-1 turret on a medium tank? Tape, what are you doing? Well, we don't actually have much choice when it comes to turrets. Old school turrets is a small mod. It does actually add a verbal VIN turret, but we're not using that right now. We'll use that in the after turn 10, late World War II. But what we have at our disposal is a T-34 turret, a Panzer II turret, a Panther turret, Tiger turret. This is actually from stock BD Armoury, this 105mm howitzer, but we have remodeled that rather extensively. We've got an Abrams cannon. Obviously, we're not using that in World War II era. We'll use that later on. But that's actually from stock BD Armoury. And then we've got this KV-1 turret. So we literally have the turret-wise, we've got the Panzer II, T-34, Panther, Tiger, and KV-1. And the KV-2, but well, that's the whole league of its own, really, isn't it? KV-2, the almighty derp tank. We also have this beautiful 3-inch naval gun, which we used in World War I. That's actually from Naval Artillery Systems. Anyway, moving on, away from pretty much all of the part mods, I think. Yep, next mod is Kerbal Konstructs. So that's what we use to have all of our bases, all of our cities. It's the plug-in that allows us to build all of these wonderful things that you see. Well, there isn't really preview window because these are all bases that we made, but when you have it you can press Ctrl K and you can actually build bases, which is how we made all the bases around Corolla and Cathenia. The two mods that we use, well, the expansions on Kerbal Konstructs are Kerbinside and the Kerbal Cities pack. So Kerbinside adds a bunch of assets, a bunch of parts for us to use, so we use that in order to build all our bases, and then we also use Kerbal Cities pack because that adds, well, cities, and that's how we built Kermingrad and Osiris Bay and all of them, so those are added by the Kerbal Cities pack. Moving on, we have Hangar Extender, which, well, does what's rather obvious. I mean, we're building giant battleships. We need a bigger hangar. Like the King class battleship goes all the way out to here, and my aircraft carrier similarly goes all the way out to here. Some people are complaining how our aircraft carriers are too small or whatever. We can't really build them a huge amount bigger. I mean, well, technically we can. We can build them all the way out, all the way out here. I've never actually gone out this far. Here's a fun fact, actually. You can open Whack a Kerbal in here. You can blow up the VAB from inside the editor. Wait for it. Oh, it curved. Let me just... There we go. Come on. Oh, it's not working. Oh, usually it works. What's going on? Usually you can actually blow stuff up from inside. Let me move over here. Let me move over. See if I can blow up that fuel tank. Oh, is it gonna blow up? Is it gonna blow up? Oh, it's not working! Come on, come on, come on. Speed, mass, size down. We're going to try and blow something up. You used to be able to do this! Ah, it's ruined my thunder. I swear you used to be able to do that. You could blow stuff up from inside. Maybe it just works from the VAB. I'm not sure. Maybe Space Plane Hangar doesn't work. You used to be able to blow stuff up from inside here. Anyway, I've gone off on a massive tangent trying to blow stuff up with Whack a Kerbal from inside the editor. So that's what Hangar Extender does, because we need it in order to build our ships. The next mod is Tweakscale. Quite obviously, allows you to tweak stuff. There you go. It makes stuff bigger, makes stuff smaller. It's pretty useful. I think our last part mod is flag decals, which obviously adds these lovely decals. So I've got this flag, which is a red star, and that adds a bunch of different decals. Some of them are curved, so you can put them on curved parts. Some of them are flat, so you can put them on wings, etc. So we're just going to launch this now. Let's launch it. Where should we go? It'll be a bit boring just to go for the runway. So we're going to go from somewhere that doesn't have a lot of lag, so not a city. We're going to go from snow. Actually, you've seen snow a lot. Let's go from Bahamut, obviously named after the man, the myth, the legend, Bahamut D, who created BD Armory, rather obviously. Taking a drink. This is quite a laid-back video. I'm not going to edit it. Can't be bothered. As I said, long day. Just answering your guys' questions. See how long it takes to load with this install. Full of Kerbin, everyone. Whoa, isn't it exciting? You guys wonder why it takes so long to make episodes. This is why. Okay, it's quite laggy with this many mods. It's not bad. We do actually run in 64-bit. I'm not sure if Tape uses active texture management. I don't use it, but he might. This is taking a really, really long time, isn't it? Yeah. Some people watch a half-an-hour video full of Kerbin and go, "Man, I could do that. If it's a half-an-hour video, they should be coming out, every hour. It should only take half an hour to make a half an hour." Nope, it takes at least 5 times longer. Most Fall of Kerbin videos, the entire video is actually at 4 times speed. You just don't realise because it looks like normal speed, but that's how laggy they are. They're sped up to pretty much all of them are fast forwarded so that they look like their normal speed. There we go. Wonderful. Wunderbar. Okay, awesome. We've got, oh yeah, this is our actual main install, so we've got all our emplacements out. That's probably why it took so long to launch, because we've got all these craft all over Corolla, all over Cathenia. Mostly in Cathenia. Invading Osiris Bay. Anyway. Let's swap back. Here we go. See, we've only got a few emplacements here, and this is how laggy it is. Just imagine how laggy it was doing my carrier attack on Osiris Fortress. That took all day. All day to do a single attack. You wonder why these take so long. Anyway, I digress. So the next mod we have is mouse aim flight. So we can fly with our mouse, rather self-explanatory. It's created by Tetrid. It's very nice. Allows us to play the game like we're playing War Thunder. Next one, improved chase cam, which we use in our dogfights. So that, well, I can't really show it right. Actually, I'll show it right now. Let's just activate the engine. Let's go! Oh my god, that's loud. Let's quieten that a bit. I'm not going to make a cut here because I can't bother to edit this. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let me turn it down. Let me turn it down. Turn it down. Mixer, Kerbal Space Program. There we go. That's what we want. Cool. Okay. That's a bit quieter. Okay, so yeah, improved chase cam, which allows us to, well, basically the camera follows the craft while it's flying. So once we take off, you'll see this is a very underpowered engine, very underpowered aircraft because it's an A6M0, so kind of self-explanatory. So yeah, the camera follows the craft, follows the velocity vector. So it basically makes things more cinematic when we're in dogfights. Makes the dogfights much more exciting to watch. We originally didn't know how it worked, so originally we just swapped to locked view, so it just locks with the roll. Yeah, it wasn't very good, so that's why we're using improved chase cam, which is much better, I think you will agree. There we are. It's much nicer when it doesn't actually follow the roll as well, so it means we can do this much nicer to watch, and obviously flying with mouse aim flight much easier to do dogfights, and much more exciting, much more fun. Anyway, on to the next mod. We have Kerbal Joint Reinforcement, which is what we use so that our ships don't explode on load, because they have a habit of doing that. You really do need Kerbal Joint Reinforcement. It just sort of helps the physics. It eases the physics in instead of just cracking attacking you. It just makes it so that our ships don't explode when we load in. The next mod we have is, let me just stop flying around like this, Hyperedit. We don't tend to use it for anything other than just editing stuff. Like, you know, when we have our ships, when we move them, we need to change how much fuel they have, and sometimes we want our aircraft not to have any ammo, so they drop bombs. You know, it's just quite useful for all this. Also, we have this destroy a vessel thing, which is always very helpful for, you know, in the middle of a fight, or you need to destroy something, you just want to get rid of stuff. Just helps, you know, speedy deploying of troops, etc. The next mod, which really helps with the speedy deployment of troops, Vessel Mover. We need to be landed to do it, but you can either move a vessel. Actually, I'll land. I'll just show you guys. You don't even need to technically be landed. You can just... Actually, we don't even need to land. We can use a mod which is called AirPark. So there's another mod which allows us to freeze our stuff in place. Like so. We use this so that we freeze our ships in place so that when we load them in, they don't explode or fly into the air. So it freezes them in place so they can't move. So it stops our ships exploding when we load in. Because ships are very glitchy. Anything on water in KSP is quite glitchy. Vessel Mover allows you to, well, move your vessel like so, and then you can place it. You can move at different speeds. It's how we basically deploy all of our units. You can also place vessels. There you go. Place them gently on the ground. You can also spawn vessels, which is really useful, because when you need to deploy like 5 tanks in a row, you don't want to have to keep going back to the space center and back. So you can just keep spawning them, and you just click a vessel, and you can just load it in. I'm not going to do that now because it sometimes lags quite a bit. Next mod, Vessel Switcher, which is actually incorporated into Speedy Armory. So we just press this little VS tab, and there we go. So I can activate guard mode or pilot or whatever, and also change the teams of everything here, but I can also swap between stuff. It's very helpful because once you in a battle, as you know, lots and lots of debris gets thrown around, and you want to swap to a specific craft, but you don't have to cycle through everything like so. So it's just very helpful, and allows us to turn on the guard mode and pilot, AI pilot remotely, which is very helpful, and it really does make things a lot easier. Next mod, Burn Together. Don't have it here. I'm going to spawn in a tank. There we go. And I'm going to spawn in 2 tanks, so I want them to be small. So actually, let's get some boas out here. You know, we haven't driven some of these in a little while. As you see, it takes a few seconds to load them in. Okay. Yeah, this is a very unofficial video, as I said, but just answering questions. Hope you guys don't mind. I think I'm being a little more sort of casual than I usually am. I'm usually far more excited, and yeah, usually I have to be in a certain mood to make a video, which is why I don't have a regular upload schedule. Like, especially with videos like exploring my Steam library, I have to be in a really sarky and horrible mood in order to make those videos. But yeah, I don't want to expose you guys to my sarky, horrible personality. So I tend to wait till I'm in a good mood to make videos. Anyway, enough about that. Anyway, let's get another one out here so I can actually show this off how it works. Here we go. Let's get another boa in here. Our wonderful tiger tank. Beautiful mountains of Corolla in the background. Come on. Load it in. Load it in. There we go. So, burn together is what we use in order to move tanks. I mean, you can use it to fly aircraft, but it's not as good as the BD Wingman. So BD Wingman Wing Command allows you to tell stuff to attack, follow, fight to a certain position. It's very useful. It's very good. Burn together just tells everything to do the same thing at once. If you get me. So if you burn together 2 aircraft, if you turn right, it's going to turn right exactly the same as you know. And if it gets slightly further behind, it's going to stay far behind. Whereas AI Wingman is much better for flying aircraft because they actually follow you properly and fly in formation. But that doesn't work with tanks. So with tanks, we need to use burn together, which has been updated. It's quite difficult to find the update, but it has been updated for 1.1.2. So this is what it is. I usually set it with action group. So here we go. I set this as leader. And then, no, I want to set this as leader. There we go. Swap to the other one, activate its engine, pressing 4. And then I set this as a follower. There we go. And then all I have to do is just start moving. And there we go. The tank follows me. So it's great for moving multiple vehicles. Yeah, I am turning into a German. Sehr gut. For the Vaterland. I'm saying that while driving a Tiger. That's not very encouraging, is it? As I said, a lot of these weapons have been rebalanced by us and by Tetrids, as the creator of Aviator Arsenal and now same Flight. So yeah, they work very differently to how they go in the box, which is why we've made a mod pack now, just to make things easier and just so you can download all of them at once. Boom! Look at that. Took an 88mm to the face! Didn't even take a scratch. I might launch some of these next turn. They're pretty freaking awesome. They take a hell of a beating and they have a very deadly gun, just not against other boas. Come on, fire. Fire the gun, yeah! Boom! Still alive. Oh my god. Still going. 288s. Okay, that's it. I'm going to move this one. Remote firing's active, actually. Okay, fire into the butt. Boop. Oh, still didn't die. Come on. Okay, I'm obsessed with this now. There we go. The front panels are off. Fire the gun. Oh, come on. This thing's a beast. Come on. Here we go. I think this thing's going to stand up against Tape's little medium tanks with their 76mm guns. It's just going to own them. Come on. The only thing that actually hurt this thing is an 88 or a tank destroyer gun. They're actually quite susceptible to high explosive, I think. Oh, that was lame. Gun depression makes you depressed. Couldn't aim low enough. Come on, final one, final shot. Let's fire into the bum. Fire into its ass. In its ass. Set in the ass. Oh, I exploded. Yep, I think. Yeah. What happened there? Oh, we must have. Yeah, we must have overheated it. The chassis is still perfectly intact. We just somehow overheated the. Overheated the command module. So long, Boa. It's going off into the sunset. Look, it's free now. Bye, Boa. Have fun. Nah, psych. Come on, take it out. Take it out, Dilby Kerman. Fire. Oh no, I fired. Gun oppression makes you depressed. Come on. And I'm getting very sidetracked. Come on. And I need to aim the gun lower. Aim the gun lower. Yeah, there we go. Fire. I want to get an explosion. I want to throw off another mod. Is it working? No, not really. Okay, whatever. Anyway, let's get the A6 turn back and throttle up and take off. Anyway, where was I? Yes, flag decals. We've already gone over flag details. Scatterer. Yeah, 2 mods left. Just beautification mods. So that's all of the part mods, all of the utility mods and stuff we use. And finally, onto beautification mods. We don't use too many. Like we don't use environmental visual enhancements, which gives you the clouds, because that uses a lot of RAM and it's slow enough as it is, as you've already seen. But we do use 2, and the first one is Scatterer, which makes the atmosphere look much better and also gives you the lovely waves, which I'm not showing you right now because we're very, very landlocked right now. But it gives you the lovely ocean, which you see in all the videos. The ocean and the waves look amazing. That's due to Scatterer. And the final mod, is Destruction FX. And that is what makes stuff appear to be on fire. It doesn't actually do anything. It's purely aesthetic. It just looks kind of cool. Check it out. It's on fire. Wait, it's not working. Maybe I need to like tear off a wing. Oh, is it going to be on fire now? Huh, not working. That's strange. Okay, well, usually it works. And then, that's how when stuff gets shot, it sort of appears to be on fire. Actually, no, it only really works when fuel tanks get broken. They have to be full fuel tanks, I think. That might be why that didn't work. Let's try it. Let's try it on this boa. Can we get some flames? Nah, just an explosion. It's a bit lame, isn't it? Where's the turn? Turn. Oh. Bit lame. Okay, let's get some Whacker Kerbal up here. Whacker Kerbal. That didn't work. Work. There. Still not working. Oh, I think you have to be flying. Maybe fuels to be flowing. I'm not sure. There are certain criteria, but you know, when a plane gets shot, it's on fire. You know, you've seen it in the videos. It does actually work. Let me hide Wacko Curdle and unhack gravity. There we go. So there we go. That completes the Fall of Kerbin mod list. There is a mod pack in the description. It is a zip file. It is for KSP 1.1.2. I'm trying to think if it will work in 1.1.3. Almost certainly not. No, it won't work in 1.1.3. It has to be 1.1.2. If you don't have 1.1.2, I can't help you. I can't distribute KSP. I can't distribute the 1.1.2 version. That would be piracy. So yeah, you can't downgrade your version either. You just have to save the version, just not update it. So I always keep installs of previous versions before I update, in case I want to go back and use previous mods, etc. So if you don't have 1.1.2, you can't really do this, but you can just download all the mods individually and do it that way. You know, it's not the end of the world. So just go down, look through the mod list, and there we go. That's pretty much the video. Thank you for watching, everyone. I would say I hope you enjoyed. This has been very casual, very laid-back video, but well, I hope this was informative. There you go. And thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.